Yes, it is Ride 6 launch week, and yes, absolutely, I am going to fall today. Multiple times, I'm sure. Hello everyone, welcome along to the Traction channel for another live stream. 2 wheels rather than 4 this time. We're going to be playing some Ride 6, which is a long-running, milestone-developed motorcycle series that is, in many ways, the spiritual Gran Turismo of motorcycling on PC and consoles. It's not Gran Turismo, but the idea is you play through your career, you play through all these events on a bunch of amazing circuits, and you can buy all sorts of different bikes as you progress through. I am not feeling 100% today. I'm going to get that out of the way straight away. Some point during the middle of last night, I woke up with a very sore throat. And then as today's gone on, I've been feeling progressively worse. So we're going to see how it goes. I'm not going to make any promises for how long we last here. I'm really hoping that I can get so into this and just forget I'm not feeling great and, you know, just continue as normal. But if I deteriorate, you'll be the first to know, and we'll see. We'll see how we go. But hello everyone, welcome along. And I'm sure I'll have some new viewers to this stream because, of course, we do cover motorcycle games on Traction. We review them. We do play them every so often, but it's obviously not the thing we do the most often. So I appreciate that some of you maybe subscribe to Traction but have never joined us on a live stream before because maybe you're a motorcycle fan, not a car fan, and today is our first motorcycle stream in maybe forever? Maybe? I don't think we've ever done one before, actually. Come to think of it. I'm really not sure. Hey, I'm right. There you go. Straight away, we've got Mobile Lemur on. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing that right. I'm going to go with Mobile Lemur. There you go. First Traction stream that you've caught. So, I wonder, are you a bike fan then? Is that why you're here? You've been subbed for a while. Amazing. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, let us know if you're into bike gaming, if that's why you're here, or if you just happen to catch us. I'm expecting some new faces today. Or new names, at least. Oh, don't you worry, Thierry. You don't have to make any promises. So it's something a bit different for us today. Completely different, in fact. So I'm just grateful to have anyone along joining us for this afternoon. Now, a little bit of context. We do already have our Ride 6 Traction review out on the Traction YouTube channel and on the Traction website. So if you want to know more about the game and see whether it's worth picking up from a review perspective, you can check that content out. But for me, specifically, personally, this is going to be me trying out the career mode from the start for the first time and just kind of going through, I guess, a process that a lot of you will be going through with this game if you maybe don't play bike games as much as people who play them all the time, if that makes any sort of sense. Oh, amazing. Nice. Well, welcome along. Thanks, Mr. Service, as well. Much appreciated. Hopefully I'll feel better. As I say, I'm fine right now. It's just been, I can feel it gradually getting worse. So we're gonna see how it goes. Another bit of context on Ride 6. This game actually releases in 2 days' time. So this game becomes publicly available for everyone on the 12th of February. However, those who pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition, which is like the top level of purchase you can make with this game, you get lots of extra additional goodies, but you also get 3 days of early access. So you can actually be playing this game right now if you pre-order the Ultimate Edition, which is really cool. And obviously we've got our own access to it thanks to the whole review process and everything like that. So that's how I'm able to play today, which is amazing. So, we're going to get on with it. I have done just a little bit of, let's call it, like, Ride 6 warm-up. So I did actually do the first, the Riding Basics Riding School section, just to kind of make sure that I sort of have an idea of what's going on. So we've done a little bit, we've made a little bit of cash. I've bought a few bikes from the used bike and new bike dealerships, but what we're going to do, for the sake of this, is just launch straight into career mode. And basically, let's see what happens. So here is our career mode structure. So if we go to the top left, you've got the Thunderclap single race, which is a bagger bike race around Valencia, 2-lap race. You've got a Temple of Speed Super Pole, so I'm guessing that's just on the track on your own on a KTM Superbike. You have Adventures in Cappadocia, which I believe is going to be off-road enduro riding on a Yamaha, 2 laps around there. And we have the flat track Blue Wave Enduro kind of short oval, 4 laps on there as well. So that's cool. So we've got a lot of variety straight away with the first 4 events. I think we should start at the top by doing A thunderclap bagger race around Valencia. Now, I have muted the music for copyright reasons, but there's still music going to be playing in some of these cutscenes, which is probably going to get me demonetized. But anyway, we'll just have to mute it after the fact. Or maybe I can actually just mute the music for now. Sorry guys, I know the music is part of the whole experience of watching a video game through, but we just got to be a little bit careful. You can see some of the variety we've got on the go here, though. So that's the big thing about a game like Ride 6, is obviously the variety in terms of types of bikes you can be riding, different types of races. You've got circuit racing, you've got road racing, you've got enduro, off-road stuff over dirt bikes, essentially. You've got baggers, you've got scooters, you've got superbikes, you've got road bikes, you've got all sorts of stuff, which is very, very cool. That's good to know, Alaric. So hopefully we can leave it unmuted and not get any copyright strikes. But either way, I can always mute it I can mute it after the fact as well, just for the sections where we do get copyright strikes. So it should be fine either way. All good. Okay, let's get into our first race then. We're starting second. We're basically jumping straight in here. Actually, are we starting second, or is that Elena Costa who's starting second? Sophia Mertens on the pole. So the number on the bottom right there, so you've got B718. The B is the fact that it's a bagger, but the number is essentially a performance stat from like 0 to 999. So 718 is actually a fairly quick bike. We're starting fifth for our first little race here, and we're just going to jump straight into it. I'm running, if you see the top right of the screen, you've got the game experience setting, so we can choose how to run it, arcade or pro. But I've got pro on at the moment, just to get started. The only thing is I've got joint brakes on, so I've got a little bit of assistance with the front and rear braking, just to help us out that little bit. I've got semi-automatic transmission. To be honest, it doesn't really matter if it's manual or auto, but we'll run with that just now on the controller. And we can turn off the off-track aid. Collisions are on, rewinds are on, and game speed reduction is normal. So it's like basically a hybrid of the pro settings, but with a little bit of sort of panic safety, let's call it. So let's jump straight into the race. Oh, nice one, Mobile Lemur. Trucking on American Truck Simulator, Euro Truck Simulator. Okay, we're underway for our first race. 2 laps. I do know the track, but of course I don't know the braking zones on this bagger, so we're going to brake nice and early for the first corner. Got the rear sliding out a little bit. In fact, are we ghosting? We are ghosting through opponents, so that's interesting. Slow down for the hairpin. Yeah, we are ghosting, so we need to turn that off. That might have just been an assist that I left on. Try and get some of the power down. In fact, yeah, we're ghosting all the way. Now, sim racers will, of course, know this track from games like ACC. Sorry, Sophia, we're going to just go straight through you there up to the lead. Oh dear, too deep, too deep. Now, as you're going to see, I am not a bike racing expert. I've played bike racing games before, so hopefully I'm not going to be completely useless, but I'm certainly not at any sort of, let's say, high level. I've got a lot less experience on these than any sort of four-wheel action stuff, so you're going to have to forgive me for some poor riding techniques, and obviously I'm going to be learning as we go here. But that's, I mean, that's sort of the point of this, right? This bike is actually quite comfortable, though, to start off with. I'm feeling pretty safe, pretty confident of hitting my apexes and things like that. We're going to brake nice and way too early, in fact, for the last corner. That was far, far too early. And we've missed the apex entirely. There's going to be a lot of missed apex. Don't fall. Yeah, don't fall, exactly. I think the baggers do, yeah, they do feel more weighty and heavy. They do feel more weighty and heavy. I mean, as I say, this is going to be sort of, we're going to be working these things out as we go here. Let's tip into T1. Bit too much curb, maybe. I still need to gain experience in all the different types of bikes. But the bagger, I think, is feeling pretty safe, I would say. rear end's coming out under braking. You can see the tail wagging. We do have certain assists as well, so if I press triangle, we can change the ABS, traction control, anti-wheelie. Oh no, that's too deep. So we're all in 4 by default, but we're actually going to bump them down to 3, just to try and find a point we're comfortable with. Oh, you can see the rears sliding all over the place under braking. Terrible exit. Now, I do believe we have adaptive AI on here. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we'll hopefully find out as we continue, because this is obviously just, we're jumping straight into career, and it literally just launches you straight into this race. But with adaptive AI, the AI riders should sort of find pace with us as we develop here, which should make the racing good. Gonna keep the power on a lot longer in towards the last corner this time. Still got on the brakes too early. And then on the power too early. Fairly comfortable victory at Valencia. 3:36. Nothing much to see there, that's fine. Everyone on the same bike as well, with slightly different performance figures because of different, I guess, tyre combinations. It's not even that. You've got some bikes that I guess have had well, only one bike that's got a slightly different score, which is intriguing. But there we go, objective recap. So, we finished the event, obviously, at least first, in 5th place, so we get 20 stars. We also get the bonus objective, because we didn't fall. I didn't know there was a bonus objective there, so that's that's a relief. I don't think we would have won if we'd have fallen anyway. Show off. There'll be plenty of time to send me crashing back down to earth. So we're getting a little podium sequence here, which we'll watch. There I am. I have actually, as well, customized, or just bought a couple of suits and helmets and stuff like that, just so I'm not riding the complete default style. So there you go. First win. And the first look at one of the disciplines. Some nice rider experience. These are all loan bikes as well, so we don't make any progress on our sort of bike affinity, let's call it. But we're off and running. We're off and running. Is this game on disc? Off the top of my head, Mobile Lemur, I actually don't know. There may be, that information may be available on the Traxion website, but I can't think off the top of my head whether it's available on disc or if it's digital only. So I'm playing via Steam on the PC version. I should have actually said that right at the start. So for me, it's via Steam. Right, you've got one lap around the Blue Wave circuit. That's interesting because it's a circuit we don't know at all. So that's going to be challenging, but it's first go in a Superbike. We've got to finish 6th or better in the Superpole standings. And for the bonus objective, finish 3rd or better. Let's do that then. We'll just go in order. You can also filter stuff, by the way, here. So you can filter by game modes, but of course, at the moment, we've got a very linear sort of progress path before we get our first reward. So, let's jump into Temple of Speed. Nice. I don't really have much experience on any sort of truck games, to be fair, other than I do enjoy playing a bit of Euro Truck every so often, and we've done some Euro Truck challenges on the channel before, which have been a huge amount of fun. But I would like to get more into them. Jim asked earlier, sorry I didn't answer you at the time here, Jim. Where is the motorcycle SIMRIG? If I had the space and the money and everything, and just the, I guess the lack of sensibleness to install a bunch of different rigs for different things, that would be amazing. Like, imagine a Formula rig, a GT rig, a truck rig, a motorcycle rig. That would be wicked. I have ridden on a motorcycle rig before, and it's got potential to be amazing. That's the one biggest difference for me between sim racing in terms of four-wheel sim racing and bike games is obviously you can simulate far more realistically the sensations of driving a car with a four-speed back steering wheel, and it's a lot more accessible than actually having a full-on bike sim, which is amazing. but it's not that easy. It's not as easy as you know, a force feedback wheelbase and steering wheel and pedals. So, all right, Skylar House is first on a 2:12.0. That's the time we're looking at. Skylar House, of course, I basically know Skylar House from the Dakar, essentially. Always a fan favorite. I did want to check as well. So, do we have AI stuff here? Not in this section, so we'll keep an eye out for more options becoming available. But it's very much just sending us down this route. Okay, so Blue Wave Circuit, one of the fictional circuits on Ride 6. So I'm going to be paying close attention to the map, which you can't actually see because it's in the bottom left. So, tell you what I'm going to do after we get around this first corner is I'm going to hide my face so you can have a look as well. And this is a Superbike, so it's a lot more power. Got to be a bit more neat and tidy. I'll hide myself. So now you can at least see the map down the bottom, which I can also see. Too early on the power. A little bit of air. Not a good line through there. Okay, we've got split times as well. I was too early on the brakes, but I'd rather be a little bit cautious at this point. Tip it into the hairpin. That's the biggest thing when you go from playing a bunch of car games and sims to going on to bike sims, is you really have to be so patient and understanding of the braking, but also the weight transfer. I'm so used to turning in too early, and then obviously it's very difficult to kind of decommit from that situation. It's very easy to brake too late, it's very easy to turn in too early, and it's also very easy to get on too much power too early because you have to manage obviously the front wheel lifting on exits as well. So there's a lot to think about. It's a whole other skill set. Use the curb into the left. We're still P2, that's fine. Keep it absolutely pinned through here. We must be coming near the end of the lap now, surely. We've got up to first on the splits, so we're right in the mix. Could have been more committed through that kink there. Oh no, got my line all wrong. Too slow in, too fast out, too early on the power. Might have lost our P1, but we should hopefully still get top 3. Got to be at 2:12.0. Top right is the time. No, 2:12.5. P2. All right, we'll take P2. We will take P2 on our KTM. So that's going to be, what, a silver medal, I guess? Or are we just going to get a gold because we've done the main objective and the bonus? We'll have to see. Yeah, so the adaptive AI, I think, is something you can turn on or off. P2 on the podium. There's Skylar with the signature mustache. So it is different from 5. There's innovation here from 5. I'm going to ask you to watch the review for kind of a more detailed analysis of all the different elements of it. But it is like fundamentally they've tried some new things with Ride 6 that make it different from Ride 5. But ultimately it's not a massive progression. It's still sort of more of the same, but with a few differences, if that makes sense. Like, if you like Ride 5, you're going to like Ride 6. If you want something completely different, there are some interesting things, but ultimately you're not going to find anything crazy different. So here's a little bit more context for the career anyway. So you've got new career areas, tackle events you've never seen before. New events. So there we begin to get a little bit more of a free reign on what we do with our career mode, and you can see how many stars we need to unlock different areas. So this section, for example, is Scooter Maniacs. So I'm going to presume that there's all scooter events in here. Yeah, definitely looks like it. Still to unlock the Sport Bike Light Cup at the top. Hey Leroy, how's it going? The arcade handling, I still need to kind of explore it, but I was chatting to Ross about this, and basically it's impossible to crash with arcade handling. So it's definitely good for first-time bike gamers to get into it, and especially for younger players as well, to get an idea of how it all feels. But I think ultimately, for a challenge in terms of actually, you know, the fundamental physics of riding a bike and everything, and understanding how it all works, you're going to want to be in the kind of pro mode, even if you use assists within the pro mode. But the arcade mode is good to have, and that's something that's innovative at least. So we've got a couple more here. Do you want to will we try our first? Let's try a couple more of these initial Ride Fest area events before we jump into Scooter Maniacs, because I did want to check out obviously the enduro bikes. So we've got dirt racing, and then we've also got this oval as well. So let's do that. In fact, we'll do the short oval first. So Blue Wave Enduro. So the same venue as the track we just rode on, but obviously it's the different layout within that. It's the enduro venue, so it's dirt bike ovals. This is going to be this is going to be a challenge. Starting 5th. What's our objective? So we've got finish the event in 5th to complete the challenge, and then record the best time is the sort of bonus objective. So we've got to set a fast lap, essentially. I can work with that. I can work with that. Alright, let's see how we get on with this. Okay, it's a good start. Bit wide. Very wide, in fact. Get a good exit speed, but we've obviously lost huge amounts, so we were way too fast into that first corner. Got to try and pare it back a little bit. Hold a tighter line. Ooh. Very close to having my first fall of the day. Ooh. No ghosting on this one as well, so that's obviously just an event-specific thing. Back up to P4. We're going to go underneath Olivia. Making our way back to the front. Bit of a block pass. Nice and tidy around the outside. Fastest lap as well. Hopefully that gives us the bonus objective. A little bit patient on the throttle because we will just understeer, so that's a bit less tidy than the previous lap. I don't know if you call it understeer. When you're riding a bike, would you call it understeer? Down a gear to 4th. It's not going to be a faster lap, but I think we've still got fastest lap from the previous one, hopefully. P1 by 1.6 seconds. Surely we got fastest lap. Power. There we go. 26.1, so everyone else was in the 27s. So yeah, nice and straightforward so far. We didn't win every event, but we've come close at least. DJ in the corner. Got our bikes up on a stand. I'm not going to watch these every time though, because they will eventually they will quite quickly get fairly repetitive, I can imagine. Wandering up onto the podium. But it's cool that it's specific to the venue or the race style at least. Alright, we're up to level 15 now. Bearing in mind again, before the stream, even though we're just starting career mode, I had done driver academy stuff just to kind of get up to speed. We've got 89,000 credits. So I'm going to jump out and show you some of the bikes that we can go and purchase as well, just to give you an idea of that. Well, I think we've unlocked the area above us. Have we? Yes. We've unlocked Sport Bike Light Cup. 4 laps of Okayama, so there you go. So you can check out what bikes you're allowed as well. So here, for instance, we're basically allowed a sport bike from 0cc to 550cc. So it's almost super sport spec. So we can do that. We can go and buy our first bike on the stream. So sport up to 550cc. That's fairly straightforward. Go and take a look at what's on offer. So we're going to head to the dealership. I want to see the used bikes first. See what we've got on offer. So the way it works, it's quite handy. This, you've got a little explainer. So the tags they have different ways of denoting what a certain bike is. So the number is like more of like a performance statistic, but the letter indicates the bike type. So as you can see there, N is for naked, S is sport, M is motard, and then you've got scooter, bagger, and enduro. And then also whether it's a stock bike, a modified racing bike, or also an enduro bike as well. So endurance modified, which has got like lights and things like that. For night racing. So there, within each category, there are like lots of subcategories as well. And obviously some bikes are customizable, some aren't. So that's really cool. Let's have a look at what we can buy for this newly unlocked area. So we're looking for a sport bike. Up to 550cc, and you've obviously got, you can search by manufacturer, so you've got BMW, Ducati, Honda, Kawasaki, KTM, FP Mondial. I'm going to run through them very quickly just to show you all the different manufacturers that we've got, and that's just the used bike section to bear in mind, which will reset every so often, so you can see new bike catalogue in 13 days. So these are just the used bikes. I'm going to show you the new bikes. We can go through all the different manufacturers. There you are. In alphabetical order as well. Plenty of manufacturers. And because you've got a number on there as well, you've essentially, you can try and collect them all a little bit like you might in a Gran Turismo or even a Forza Horizon to some degree. Hopefully this jazz music doesn't bring up a jazz pop-up like it did last time. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. For any of you who were watching my Gran Turismo stream, that was unexpected, let's say. So there you go. We could buy this Aprilia RS457. That's too big an engine. A lot of these bikes are too powerful. The way in the showroom as well, they go by performance stats. So the further on you go, the faster the bikes get, essentially. And then it changes manufacturer. So we go on to Bimota. And you can see there, 783, 797, and then we're on to BMW. So it goes by performance number, essentially. So we know what kind of range you're looking in. Essentially with the Aprilia, which was our first sort of sensible option there, you're looking at around about S410, so anything really below S500 should be sort of in the ballpark, and then we can have a look to see. So these are all going to be too big an engine. Italjet scooters. Kawasaki Ninja, could go a Ninja. That should meet the criteria as well. We RC390. My bike knowledge, by the way, is rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. So for any of you who are watching this who are big into bikes, I do apologize in advance for messing up a number of things relating to actually understanding these bikes. There's a racing modified RC390. That is technically a sport bike. I do wonder if that will be eligible because it's 373cc. Let's buy the KTM. I just want to see, because even if we buy it and we can't use it, that's fine. I want to make a purchase, and then we can see. Got different liveries as well. Very nice. And you can also configure the bike too. pay a little bit more for some branded tires. That's cool. We'll stick some... no, you know what? We'll leave it unbranded right now. Let's save our money right now. We can think about that later. Complete the purchase. Right. Will a racing modified bike be allowed? Let's see. If not, that's fine. We can try something else. Oh, nice. So, in terms of me and motorcycles, road bikes I know very, very little. It's not something I've ever explored, let's say, in terms of an understanding. Whereas I did used to always watch... So every year I'll follow the TT and see what's going on. I'll watch... I followed MotoGP for many years and the support categories back to when it was 250cc and 125s, way back in the kind of mid to late 2000s. Used to watch British Superbike and World Superbike and all of these things as well. So racing, I'm generally have more of an interest in, and I've followed just through my motorsport kind of background, let's say. But yeah, in terms of road bikes and sort of bike culture, is never something I've really been too heavily invested in, let's say. Just to show you my garage, by the way, I won this bike by getting all gold in the driving school. This was the first bike I purchased, just a used Ducati, in order for me to just make sure the controls were all working and get a feel for it. I just bought this beautiful 1993 888 SP5 Ducati. That's the bike I started off with, KTM 450. We've just bought our KTM RC390, which we're going to see if it's eligible, and if not, we'll buy something else. And we've also got the Triumph Daytona 675R. So we've got a few bikes in our garage already. We're going to go back to the career mode. Sport bike light cup, right. There's no PP restriction, so let's see what the deal is here. Oh, we've got another little cutscene because it's a new area. We'll let the in-game music do the talking. The cost of the game, Gloy Gaming, totally depends on which version you buy. So there are lots of different prices, but we should have all of the information available. If you go on the Traxion website and you go on, it should be all there in the review, the different prices for the different versions. So that's the best bet, just to find out. But it's not a cheap game, Ride 6. It's certainly not a cheap game. It's a proper big title, let's say. So we've been given the option of the Aprilia. Am I not able to actually... Can I switch to a bike that I just bought? Let me just see what's going on here. So... okay. So actually... Okay, so that bike is not eligible, which is probably not a surprise, to be fair. I'm thinking it's either this Aprilia, the Ninja, or the RC390, which is kind of what I was thinking might be the case. And they're a lot cheaper. Also makes more sense for the start of the career mode. But we do actually have, because we did the driving school and got all gold, I do think I've got the RS457, which is what we're seeing here. Oh, I've just backed out too far. Hang on. Let's go back there. There's our Aprilia in our garage. So yeah, we won this bike, and we can use it. So we are going to do that. 2,000. Maybe not quite that expensive. Not quite that expensive, Thierry. Okayama, our first race. I think it was 4 laps, wasn't it? We're in the short version of Okayama. Always know this circuit thanks to iRacing. When I first started iRacing, it was the Mazda MX-5, kind of one of the 2 circuits in the rookies, and that and Lime Rock. I don't know if it still is. It might well be. But it just used to rotate between the 2. We're starting 8th. It looks like it's going to be raining as well, or overcast at least. I forgot to check the objectives. Oh no. I'll need to check that as well, Gloy Gaming, on the... if it's not there, if the price isn't there, then I'll need to check the Milestone website. Right, we're in a big pack here. Try and stay out of trouble a little bit. Got this double apex right-hander. In a big cluster of riders, we've got our first faller. I was pretty lucky actually to avoid falling off there. TT Hero Ian Hutchinson up in front as well. Oh my goodness. Things are getting a little bit spicy. As I said, I didn't check our objectives, so... We're kind of just going to have to send it and hope for the best. I can probably find out our objectives mid-race. I'll try pausing it once we get onto the straight. Too early on the power. No, we're just about okay. Right, can we check our objectives? Yes. So we need to finish at least 8th is the main objective, and then record the best lap time is our bonus objective. I do think the lyrics? The graphics on the ride games in general have always been very, very good. The game in replay modes really can look like the real thing. There is a high side. Up into P7. Got 4 laps to kind of get to grips with this Aprilia and the track. Underneath Cervante. Try and do the cut back on Mitchell as well underneath there. That's all good. Desperately want to catch Hutchie up in 3rd. Nice. Look at the straight line for De Silva. We're 5th, 2 laps to go, but that should be a decent lap time, hopefully. Trying to get fastest lap as well for the bonus objective. Oh no, there it is. There it is. First crash. Went in too hot, too hard on the brakes. I deserved it. I was just being very aggressive. Taking it for granted that I hadn't fallen yet, so you've just got to be a little bit smoother on the inputs. Oh no, that's grass. Just a little lift through Mike Knight. Nice and close to the curb, that was good. Right. How many positions can we get in the last lap? Try not to fall this time. That's too aggressive. Oh, wow. Kind of got away with that there. That could have been a lot worse. And again, gone too early through the switchback. So much is about patience and timing with this. Better go for it. Ooh. Couldn't really do much else there. We'll try and get the switch back on the exit. Do we have the grunt? Just about. Just about. I don't know if that was a bit rude, but we got P6 in the end. A little bit of force. Did we get fastest lap? 6 seconds? No, we didn't. 58.5 was our best lap. We needed a 58.1, so we're going to fail to get our bonus objective, I do believe. There it is. But we did get our main one at least. Cheers, Mobile Lemur. Thanks for joining us. Hello, Mark. Welcome. Welcome along. Very much appreciate you putting the prices on there, Mobile. So it's £60 for the main edition, £80 for the deluxe, and £100 for the ultimate. So it is a, as I say, it's not a cheap game, but it is a full-blown experience, of course. So we've got an affinity for Aprilia, depending on how many races and events we do on Aprilias. We have, of course, our regular rider experience, which is growing, and we've got our money. And you get some stat updates as well on the bike, because, of course, we owned that bike. So that's the first event we've done on a bike we've owned. I do need a bit more power, I think, to get the pace. We've unlocked some new events, though. The rest of the Sport Bike Light Cup are 3 more events on there, so there's no PP restrictions, so we can upgrade the bike a little bit. So we will look into that as well. We'll try the first Scooter Maniacs event shortly as well. There's a Daytona Speedway Bagger event in our initial Ride Fest section. Alpine Drift as well, or Alpine Drift. And the Gunma Hairpins. So plenty of interesting circuits already. We were going to have a look at the cosmetics. So if I go to the outlet, that's where you can sort of purchase rider gear and stuff like that. So I do have one small gripe with this. If we go to suits, for instance, within each suit style there are multiple colors, but because for a lot of people buying a suit is as much about the color as it is about the style. So like, for example here, if I go for the AWA Racing Standard Suit 01 and click X, then I can see the different color variations. But you know, if I just wanted to find, say, a yellow suit, I obviously would have to check every single suit to see if there were yellow variants of that suit, if that makes sense. But I understand why it's the way it is. So you can pick a suit based on a style that you like and a design that you like and a brand that you like, and then within that check the color range to see if there's something that you like. But you can see there are so many different brands. If I just kind of scan through them here, some of them you do have to unlock, of course. Milestone, I've got a Milestone suit, the Ride Fest suit. But plenty of options. And there, look, all these are different colors within the same style of suit. It's quite a nice one. So we'll purchase one. There you go. You've got different kind of rider setups as well for street and off-road. So you can buy different suits, different helmets, different goggles for each. And you can also go to the editor, which I have not played around with. And within this you can search for online content here, so you can see like riders can create their own custom suits and everything like that, and then you can download them from here, which I've not really played around with yet. But say I want to download this kind of Rossi Yamaha tribute, we can download that. So it's the AWA Racing Standard Suit 2. So I do wonder if I just need to then own that suit, and it should appear. Let's just go to the outlet and see. AWA Standard Suit 2. So the Rossi doesn't appear here, but I wonder if we just purchase the suit, then we can download the livery potentially. There it is. So there's the creation. So we download that one. It's already downloaded actually, so it should. Can we actually apply that? I might need to do something else to apply it. I'm just working this out I'm working it out live. Or does it appear here? Ah, there it is. Downloaded items. So it does appear there once you've got it downloaded. We can select that one, and then boom, we've got a sort of Rossi tribute livery on there. So there you go. So I'm not the person to ask about Ride 5, just simply because this is not my wheelhouse. Like, I am fairly new to these sorts of things, and I've not really played through any of these games fully. But my colleagues have, which is why, obviously, we've got them to review the game and give a kind of much more in-depth opinion on comparing them. So it's worth watching our review, but the quick answer to that question is it is similar to Ride 5, but it still innovates. It still does things differently. There are new things. Some of those new things, though, are maybe... Some of the new things, like Ride Fest, for example, in the career mode, on paper looks more interesting, but actually, when you actually get down to it, is really just sort of an UI update more than any actual gameplay improvement. So I think if you if you're interested in Ride 5, or if you've played Ride 5 before, and you think that's a great or a good experience or a great experience, and you want something similar but slightly different, Ride 6 will be great. But it doesn't. I don't think it does anything too crazy that's new that makes it, you know, a massively better game, let's say, than Ride 5. Put it that way. So, but I do not have the personal experience of all of these games enough to be able to give you a full comprehensive rundown of all of these things. So that's why today I'm just kind of, I'm working out as we go along. Like, I'm playing it and just sharing my live thoughts, let's say. You can see for each of these sections how many stars we've got. So we've already got 20 in the Sportbike Light Cup. We'll go, let's try the first event on Scooter Maniacs. So it's 2 laps around Vallelunga Club Circuit. We get a little, so we do get a little sort of cutscene, let's call it, showpiece for each of the new areas when we first enter them. So this, because it's Scooter Mania, will just be, there you go, Scooter Maniacs, sorry. Just a little kind of scooter focused video. Yeah, I can show you the helmets as well in a little bit. We'll do another race. So, yeah, so here we go. So because we do not own one, and I should have checked this before buying a bike I didn't need earlier on, but you have the option to either rent one or buy one. So we're going to buy a scooter. We've got plenty of money, 53,000. Looks like this is the only one we can buy. Anything from the used? No, we can't do anything from the used either. So we're just going to buy the Dragster 300. Got a few different kind of preset livery options. Good call, Thierry. There we are. Do you spot the kind of career mode Ride Fest UI in the background there? That was interesting. Only 253 in performance, of course, being a scooter. It's not quite as quick as it's not as quick as many of the other bikes. Let's put it that way. Vallelunga is a track that I mainly know thanks to Assetto Corsa, so it should be nice and familiar to us, and these scooters should be hopefully user friendly. Starting from 5th, let's see the objectives for this one. Finish the event in at least 5th, so hold position and finish the event without falling. So don't fall off, finish 5th. Very, very straightforward objectives. There's our custom Rossi suit. Not bad acceleration, to be fair. You can just see, oh, well, we've already failed our bonus objective. That's not good. Right, come on. Need to get a hang of these scooters because they are different. Very annoying buzz. Only 2 laps in this race as well, so we're already up against it to get back to 5th, but I'm going to do my best. Wow, what a buzz. I don't think we're going to get back up to 5th, guys. I don't think we're getting our objective in this one. It's only 2 laps. And I'm still kind of getting to grips with this scooter. I mean, you obviously can't get anywhere near the angle. We're going to finish last. We're going to finish last. No! what sort of lap time we're going to get. That'll give us an idea of where we are competitively. 57.2. So it's a massive fail, but we do have fastest lap, so we should definitely be able to win that one. We're going to restart it and go again. Don't fall. Get the bonus objective. Should be able to get P1 here. Yeah, so front brake is separate from rear brake, but I've got them combined at the moment. So even with that, you can actually see in the bottom right-hand side, so left of where it says D for drive at the moment, there's the acceleration bar and a kind of braking bar, and there's 2 brake bars. So you can see it's kind of combining them at the moment, front and rear. But also, if I just tap circle right now, you can see that little red appearing. So I can actually still, despite them being combined, I can still function I can still like use the rear brake to get the bike essentially rotated. Again, I don't really know if there's different terminology for rotation, but I can use it to get the rear out at least and give me a little bit more bite. But generally speaking, it's because I've got it combined, it just takes away an extra layer of skill that I need to develop at the moment. Like, I need to get used to braking points, being smooth, the weight transfer, and also the timing of things. Alright, P1 on the first lap, so we just need to hold on to this one. Don't fall off. Again, too early on the power. If you've just joined, I do apologise if I'm sounding pretty rotten. I'm not feeling very well today, so I'm definitely coming down with something. I don't know what, but I woke up in the night with a sore throat, and it's just been getting... Oh dear, that's contact. Let's not fall. I've been feeling progressively worse as the day has gone on, so if I sound choked up or confused or anything like that, A, that's just me, but B, it might be worse than usual. Right. Can we just hold a nice line here? That was maybe a bit too close for comfort, but we're going to get P1. Alright. Not a massive fan of the scooters, I'm going to be honest. Just not as enjoyable an experience. Fun to race. Yeah, not for me. Not for me. But we get some stars for it anyway. Don't need to complete the rest of those right now, though. So you should have all the same... You should really have all the same sort of customization options and stuff. And obviously you've got... there's new features, but generally speaking, it's not going to be a big backward step from Ride 5 in any clear areas. So if you can do it in Ride 5, there's a good chance you can do it in Ride 6 from what I can pick up so far. What's this? New bike? Honda X ADV. So... What's that new scooter we can buy now? Oh, is it a gift? It's a gift bike. There we go. So we've been gifted a new scooter. Happy days. Don't know why. Maybe to do some of these other events. Yeah, so the first thing was 300cc RM scooters, and now we've got maxi scooters. So different scooters for these next 4 events. They're all maxi scooters, I think. So that's probably where the gifted one comes in handy. We'll try the, I know I just said I'm going to jump out the scooters, but since this is a different class, we will try this one. The Alpine Enduro Park is a new circuit, another fictional circuit, and it's a dirt circuit, so we get our wet tires, shall we say. And there, as you can see, you can customize the components. So all of this stuff returns for Ride 6. Make your bike a little bit quicker. Camshafts. Depending on what brand, do you have any sort of affinity to as well? But they all, I mean, on this example, they all function the same. So let's just buy, for the sake of it, we'll buy some Piper cams. And we will also buy... What? An air filter? Let's buy a K&N air filter. Complete the purchase for 5,000. And there we go. So our bike's a little bit more powerful now. A little bit faster. So all the usual stuff. All the usual stuff in there. And we can search for liveries as well. So obviously we got gifted this bike, but we can still change the livery, which is cool. And then we can see if there are any custom liveries. There are tons of custom liveries already. So let's go with we'll go with Shadowman's Project 2. Looks good. Download that. It should be applied, is it? No, it's not. Oh, there it is. So now we can select it. So that's nice. I appreciate that, Sander. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I hope so. I was gonna have a quick look as well just before we do jump into that race at the helmets from the outlet. So same situation with the helmets. You've got a kind of helmet style, and then within that you can change the look of the helmets, or the design, I guess. So again, you can kind of search by brand. You've got Arai on there. My dad used to have an Arai helmet, looked a bit like this one, but with red. And yeah, I mean, you can check out the brands. I'm not going to go through every single one, but just give you an idea of what you've got to work with. That's us. So, I mean, literally, if you were to sit there and go through every single helmet and every single color design, you would be there for a long time. I mean, I have not tried to connect a wheel. I can imagine it might work in some way, but I do not have the answer for you, I'm afraid, on that one. If you can connect your wheelbase. Someone wanted me to buy an exhaust as well. Alright, I can look at the exhaust options, yeah, sure. And then we'll jump into this race. So I want to try Dust and Glory, so we're gonna jump on our bike, but just before we do it, I will have a quick look at the exhausts. We'll buy one, but you can see the visuals on it there as well. So you've got the kind of standard exhaust, and then obviously you've got different brands. And they all look different. And they also give us a bit more performance as well. This one actually, some exhausts are stronger than others as well. So you can see this actually gets us, in terms of performance points on the side, we're up to like 5.21 acceleration, whereas this one is only 5.08. So different exhausts will give us different performance as well. And obviously different prices for them. So you're paying more for the better exhaust. But we'll do a purchase of an exhaust. So there's all sorts of stuff you can do, obviously, to increase your chances. Spend money in different areas. Let's try it. Let's try it. So Name Pro, this stream is sort of for me to get my first kind of impressions of career mode and the playthrough and stuff like that. But we do have our traction review is already out on the website and the channel, which my colleagues have been working on. So, the overarching opinion from what I've been able to pick up so far is it's another solid ride game, if unspectacular in the sense that, you know, the new innovations are nothing groundbreaking or crazy in reality. So the game actually plays quite similar to previous ride titles. So it is a very solid game, and it seems to be good, but it's not pushing the boat out in any kind of crazy way that other ride games haven't. So this is just a time trial, essentially, a Super Bowl session, so it's more about time than anything else, and we'll see where we end up. Oh dear. Cannot get the lean angle on the scooter at all, so I've got to completely change my riding style for this. Now we're on dirt as well, so you get a little bit more fishtailing at the back, slightly different feel to the grip. It's not completely different in terms of feel, to be honest. Needed a downshift there. we've got our live splits as well, so we're currently half a second off of the pole split, let's say. Now 4/10 off, so closing the gap, but 7th fastest to this point. So we're sort of climbing up the hill here, but at the same time, even though there's elevation changes, there's nothing too crazy. There we go. Bit of a slalom through here. Again, I'm just relying on the map at the bottom left, which you cannot see right now because my face is blocking it, but because it's a new track, of course, requires new, or it requires you to kind of have an idea of where you're going. So the map comes in very, very handy. Are we going to beat the 1:59.1? I think we are. P1. There we go. 1.5 second gap. So these are all quite fast events. Picking up stars fairly rapidly at this point. And our first Honda Affinity. We're going to move away from scooters. You can see, though, we've unlocked this sort of a reward bike. So if I obtain this now, because we've already got the... we can already do it, essentially. Ah, okay. Interesting. So this is actually... because we kind of did it in the opposite order to what we should have, this is essentially awarding us with a choice. So we could either pick up a Ninja ZX6R and an Aprilia RS250. So we could then use these bikes for the next challenges that we are going to unlock in the career mode, predictably. But I don't know for sure which kind of category these are going to help us with. So I think we just got to pick one that we like the look of. Ninja ZX6R would be nice. We've already got ourselves a sport bike Aprilia. I think is it a 250 that we've got? I can't even remember. I don't think it was. I think it's the 475? This is where I very much get my bikes all wrong. Or we can get the Dragster 700 Twin. I think we should get the Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R because it's a Kawasaki Ninja and I like it. Let's do it. It's going to come in handy at some point, I'm sure. So it's cool that you can pick your reward bike, essentially. We'll set that as default. And there you can see we've got a new area unlocked. The Charriere area. So there's a kind of, I guess, the first of our legends sections, let's say. Thomas Charriere's kind of own area of the career, which is cool. We'll go back to the Sport Bike Light Cup for a second. We have one lap of Mugello. It's not this kind of short version of Mugello. Super Pole session. We've just done a Super Pole. We've got the Okayama GP Sprint, which is the full Okayama layout, and then we've got 3 laps of Blue Wave Circuit as well. So we'll do the full Okayama race. I feel like our Aprilia needs a bit of oomph, though. It needs a bit of oomph. Sorry, Mark, I'm only just seeing the question about is this out now. Yes, this is out now, only if you've pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition, which is the £100 edition. So it comes out on the 12th of February, which is in 2 days' time for everyone else. So if you're not willing to spend £100 on the Ultimate Edition and get all the fancy bells and whistles and DLC and all that, and the early access, then hang on for a couple of days, and you will get your access very, very soon. We're going to upgrade our Aprilia because it just wasn't fast enough last time. Can we even upgrade it, actually? I don't know if we can. We can view the details, but can we? We can change the livery, but I don't think we can actually upgrade it. Maybe I should buy a different... Should I buy a different sport bike? We'll try one more race with this one and see how we get on. I just don't know if I've got the grunt. Full circuit of Okayama. Is it going to be raining this time? Because rain and dynamic weather is a thing here. The umbrellas are up, but it could just be overcast. There's Thomas Charrier himself. We're starting 8th. Our objectives for this one, finish in at least 8th position and then complete the main objective and reach a speed of 176 kilometers an hour. So it's a speed-based objective, which is interesting. I don't know if we'll reach that with this bike, but let's find out. Right, want to try and... Oh, again, aggressive AI. So they're very aggressive on the way into the corners and then somewhat slower on the way out of the corners. That's where I can sort of take advantage. Oh, it's not the full... Oh, it is the full version, but it's with the little chicane. All right. That helps us. Wasn't ready for it, but we got through it. Up into P3. Yeah, we're going to reach 176, surely. Yeah, already reached 180 kilometers, so that should be our bonus objective. Oh no! As long as I finish in a good position, that is not going to help. All that hard work undone. Down to 12th. I need to be a bit more cautious. Getting too confident too quick. I mean, look at the speed down the back straight. There's no way we wouldn't pass the bonus objective, as it turns out. Bit too early on the power again. Need to be more patient. Right. About a lap and a half to make this progress. I think we need, what was it, 8th place? Ooh, AI very aggressive with each other. Oh, sneeze is coming. We're in trouble. We are in trouble. Yeah, I should probably be using the rewind system a bit more, shouldn't I, really? Let's be real. I can't believe it's taken me till 1 hour and 10 minutes. Oh, no. Alright, okay. Okay. Hang on, hang on. Where's my rewind button again? I've actually forgotten. R on the keyboard. That works. We're going to use it. I'm actually, do you know what? I've been so focused on the races themselves that I've kind of not... I've been essentially forgetting to use the rewind feature, which I've, of course, got enabled. So I've been losing credits to have it enabled and then not been using it. So, yeah, we're going to abuse it now. What's unprofessional, Tom? Falling off, rewinding, or sneezing? Which of the above? Oh. Right. It's the little chicane. I was getting ready for the proper left-hander, but it's the wee chicane. We're going to sneak by, up into P8. Not the best exit, but I think that's our objective position. Right, this is where we fell in the previous lap, so let's be a little bit more cautious. The AI are very aggressive, as I say, on the way into the corners, which sort of encourages me to be aggressive on the way in. And that's where it goes wrong, if I just try and tip it and have too much faith in the tyre. Oh, bye. Bye, Casey. Alright, to be a little bit careful. That's beautiful through there. Oh, no! We've got another rewind. It was such a good move as well. There we go. Right, top 6 is on here. If I nail the last sector. Final lap, of course. Don't fall, don't fall. You can see the bike trying to get away from me there. No space for the inside, but we'll try and get a switch back. Nope, grass. Nah, it's going to be tricky from now on because this isn't an overtaking spot unless you get a good exit. Last corner definitely is, though. Maybe go for the exit speed rather than entry. And then power on now. No! I don't have the grunt, I don't think. No. Oh well, I'll take P8, that's fine. I think we need some more boost. We need some Need for Speed style NOS on this thing. No, we don't. We just need some upgrades. Or maybe a different bike. 1:47.0 fastest lap. Right, I'm gonna cut to the gameplay for a second, and then I'm gonna mute my mic whilst I go towards the next thing here, so that you don't hear the very professional experience of me blowing my nose. You don't need to subscribe to the channel today. You don't need to leave a like. You don't need to leave a comment. You just need to parachute me in some Lemsip sachets. That's what's needed today. Alright. Alright, alright. We've got some work to do. We've got some work to do. I would actually quite like to buy a bike that's going to be a bit more competitive in that class, to be honest. So, we're going to... I'm just going to go back into the career for a second. And just make sure I know what bikes are eligible. I don't want to get this wrong. It just says Sport 0 to 550, but it very clearly gave me the options earlier. So if I go to... Hang on a minute. If we actually just go here. And then change the area from this... Here we are. Here we are. Alright. So there is actually a used bike available for 20,000 credits. Oh, that's a great idea. We could buy this Yamaha RD500LC because it's actually pretty competitive off the bat. 584 performance points. That's pretty good. I'm going to see what other options we have. So the Aprilia, you can see the performance is just not there on any of these new ones. The KTM, the Kawasaki, or the Aprilia, which is the bike that we have already. But we've got a kind of tuned version of that. So why don't we buy the used Yamaha and see if we can make it any better? So it's a 1985 bike, so it's old school. But it is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love these old bikes. I mean, I say gorgeous. Maybe gorgeous is the wrong word, but yeah, it's just... the square front light, and... I don't know, it's, maybe gorgeous is the wrong word. Is it gorgeous? I just like it. I like it. We can upgrade this as well. There are no performance points restrictions, let's say, so... there are so many different elements that we could upgrade here. Camshaft, clutch, piston, connecting rods, all sorts of stuff. So we're not going to go absolutely crazy. Okay, and there will already be modifications, of course. I mean that actually, there's not really much we can do. So, yeah, looking at it here, we already have modified parts. Because I bought a used bike, there are a lot of things already done to this bike. In fact, all of these parts. Yeah. Okay, so this is basically fully customized anyway. Yep. So all we're going to do is downgrade it. Cheers, Thierry. Thanks for joining us. Thank you very much. Again, yeah, basically, this bike's as fast as it's going to be. Alright. I'm not going to go through every single bit just in case, but it definitely gives me the vibe that this Yamaha is as good as it's going to get. So it should help us. I mean, it's 60 performance points higher, 61 than the Aprilia. Better acceleration, much better top speed, slightly worse handling, and worse braking. But so basically, it's more power, less everything else. Can it help us finally win a race? On a track that we don't know, because it's Blue Wave Enduro, I do believe. Hey Skellingtor, long time no speak. I was passed on a message that you said hello to me today, I'm pretty sure. I think it was you. I might be totally wrong and you're going, what? What on earth are you talking about? But it's been a wee while since I've seen the Skellingtor name in a stream, so I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. 3 laps around Blue Wave Circuit, so it's another one that's kind of a bit of an unknown recipe. So let's see if this Yamaha can help guide us to a surprising victory. We've still got our custom Rossi suit on. Oh, straight away, powering through to the front 3. You've got these sort of sunset conditions. Alright, the brakes aren't... Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Making it difficult for ourselves, as usual. Not going to use a rewind for that one. Oh, tricky under brakes. Very squirrely. We do have different camera views as well. Oh, there's the rewind button. Different camera views as well. So we can go on board, of course. Oh, well, let's not. I've not got a good record with changing camera views, as it turns out. Let's try that again, shall we? I'm trying not to make contact this time. No, it's going to fall again. Nope, we're fine. Okay, I pressed the wrong button. I keep doing that. I keep going to change camera angle, and it's actually just the rewind button, which I couldn't find when I tried. Helmet cam as well. How many laps? We've got 3 laps. Not a big fan of that first corner by the looks of it. I find it very difficult, though, to get kind of comfortable with these camera views. Need a bit more yeah. I've taken someone out with me that time. I need some more experience, I think, with the game first. That's a sore one. And my poor rival taken along for the ride. Alright, we'll try that again. Ooh, almost the same thing. Almost the same thing. No, too deep, too deep, too deep, too deep, too deep. Right, that's gonna be a crash. Okay, okay, this has been a race of discovery. Let's go from here. I'm gonna stop abusing the rewind feature as much now and try and actually be better. Because beforehand I was forgetting I had the feature and I was doing fine. I didn't even check my objectives for this race. I hope it wasn't don't fall off. Nice line on the way in. Bit too much curb, but very nice tight line. Second apex. Yeah. Bit of contact, that's okay. Up into the top 5. Yamaha's a bit more challenging than the Aprilia, a bit less safe, but it is noticeably faster, which is very nice. Try and go inside Sean. Oh, on another Yamaha, and there we go. Power is there to get it done. I've once again got that corner horribly wrong. And that one. Got away with it. We're just going to find out what objectives there are after the race and just hope. Don't fall. Nice. That'll do. Alright, podium. And we've got the grunt, not to worry about the exit. There we go. Is there a I'm assuming that means you're meant to say Romano Fanati button to press your rival's brakes. That's a throwback. That is a throwback. Romano Fanati. I was watching, because he was one of those that was really, really looked like being a future world champion in 125s, or was it Moto3 by the time Fanati got in? When he was on that little the wee white bike in his first year, and I thought this guy's gonna be it, gonna be the real deal, and unfortunately it went a little bit wrong. It went a little bit wrong for Fanati, didn't it? That is a throwback though. No mini motos in this game, Mr. Ninja Fish. I am sad to bring you that news, but it is true. Our bonus objective was to finish at least third, and I'm pretty sure we finished third, so I mean, I didn't check the objectives, but I'm glad we finished where we did. Another podium. Obviously, we've got our jazz non-copyright music in the background, so the DJ is just having a whale of a time to some smooth background bossa nova. There we go. Getting our money back up. We're fairly tonking through this. Bonjour, Pierre. Bonjour. How are you getting on? Welcome to the stream. Bit of a different stream this week to usual, but I'm enjoying myself. Getting stuck into another new game, a big new game as well. In the world of racing games, it's, you know, a new ride game is no small thing. I'll do one more of these Sport Bike Light Cup events because I want to get that clean. I want that whole column sorted. That's just for the sake of it looking nice and neat and tidy. So we're going to do this one lap of the Mugello short thing. It shouldn't take long. It's just a Super Pole session. We'll stick to the Yamaha because we've got more pace in the Yamaha. Did he? I don't think he didn't get a lifetime ban for the first one. Did he? Or did he get a lifetime ban after? Because he did. There were some more incidents, weren't there? It wasn't just a one-off thing. I can't remember. There's a few similar sort of incidents that I kind of get confused about. I remember the Fanati one, but I can't remember if Fanati did more after that. Right, absolutely tonking along towards the first corner at Mugello. Terrifying braking zone. This must be so scary in real life. I can't imagine. We braked a little bit early, but I think it's okay. On the power. Nice exit. And we're... Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, that was the closest we've come to falling without falling. I deserved it. Let's try that again. I flew too close to the sun. He did, yeah. I didn't think there was a lifetime ban. There definitely wasn't for the first one. There was a few wild incidents in a small space of time, wasn't there? Okay, I was a little bit better on the brakes, but I didn't get it down in time, which was my bad. Oh, watch that rear tire. Be a bit more gentle. Gentle on the transfer. Not bad. Oh, we're 2.2 seconds clear of P2. Loving this Yamaha. Ahead of Canepa. Another one of the legends. Oh, it's a short version. I was getting ready for the left-hander down the hill. Watch the paint. No! Oh! Got lucky. That's going to be P1 though. comfortably. 2.6 seconds ahead in the end. And we get both objectives. All right, that's fairly quick. I want to go back to the kind of first Ride Fest area because there are some other interesting events there, different event types that don't involve scooters or sport bikes. So we'll see what more there is on offer, because I think a game like this will want to showcase different facets of the game, kind of early doors, to give you a little flavor of what's to come. So for example, we have our 2-lap adventure here on around Cappadocia Rally, which is like the is it the biome in Turkey? We'll see where it's based. It looks insane. Absolutely insane. The Fairy Village. Look at this. I do love the diversity in this game, where you can jump from, like, you know, a hardcore superbike race or a 500cc race around Mugello or whatever it might be, and then you can just do something like this immediately afterwards. What's our objectives here then? Finish the event in at least 5th and reach a speed of 160 kilometers. So we're just going to focus on finishing in at least 5th. 2 laps, 6 in the morning, overcast. We've still not experienced rain yet. Yeah, Iannone's... yeah, this was the thing, Iannone as well. I was a massive Iannone fan growing up as well. From the 125cc days, Iannone was the rider for whatever reason. I think it's because his bike was green the year I started watching 125s. But Iannone for me was my favourite coming through. And then it all kind of went a bit... all went a bit crazy, didn't it? Towards the end. He did have a good run in MotoGP for a little while. Just never lived up to his potential, I would say, Iannone. Oh, no, that's a corner. No, don't fall. Alright, we got away with it. We brought someone else along with us. Nope. Oh! My most played bike game was probably... I'm going to say the World Superbike game from like 2000 and... Oh... When would I say it was? 8 or 9, maybe? There was a World Superbike game that I had on my PlayStation... It would have been PlayStation 3 at the time. I cannot remember which game it was. But it was... I had so much fun with that game. Really, really enjoyed it. Many, many hours out of it in career mode. It was the one with Biffy Clyro Golden Rule was like the kind of main soundtrack of the game. So if anyone remembers that game, any of you are long-term bike fans and remember, bike game fans I should say, and remember the old World Superbike game that had Biffy Clyro, that Golden Rule is like its main theme, let me know which year that was. Alright, we're going to go under De Jong here, are we? Just about. Nice. Up into P3. Oh, mate, this is the corner that I forgot about last time. Can't see it coming because you're over the jump. The dirt physics are very friendly. They're very friendly. They don't feel... They're almost easier than you would think, I would say. Or easier than you would expect. And they don't take much to get kind of comfortable. I'm not saying I'm in any way good at all, but at least I'm comfortable. Come on, we can win this race. Ooh. Power on. I'm way off the side of the circuit. But we're going to sneak through. Opportunistic. Someone's down the inside of us though, I think. Oh, just hanging on. Yes, we got the move done at the right time. Hey, that's good. Is that our first dirt? No, it's not our first dirt win. Our first in... I think it's our second, isn't it? Nice and straightforward, that. Yamaha feeling solid. Fastest lap by a good 3 seconds. We get both objectives. Up to level 23 now. I want to have a quick look to see how much of the career you can actually see ahead. Like, you can't obviously see what the events are specifically, but you can kind of have an idea of how big and how many areas there are. We've unlocked quite a few now, because we've unlocked the Thomas Charrière area, and we've also unlocked, we can zoom out a little bit, the Tyler O'Hara Invitational, which is is that a single event? No, it's not. Multiple events within this. Got like a bagger challenge at a Superpole challenge at Daytona, which is cool. You can see Drift and Dust in there, Superbike, World Masters, Ride of Nations, Skylar Howe's section as well, Street Beasts, Guy Martin Road Racing Show. So, I mean, look how many events there are to really get into here. So there's a combination of sort of rider-specific or legend-specific series. You've got Hickman there, Guy Martin, James Toseland, all these guys. Troy Bayliss as well, which is awesome. And then Canepa, Race of Stars. So it's not all... I mean, a lot of these events are actually linked to a person, but not all. Supersonic, Bridgestone Challenge. So down the middle, it's more sort of generic names and things like that. Drive Club Bikes was good fun. And the bikes in Burnout Paradise. Yeah. There's been plenty of bike integrations in sort of wider open world games, but they always feel a bit strange. Or they can feel, I don't know if they always feel a bit strange, but they often feel a bit strange. I remember the original Test Drive Unlimited, when you unlocked the bikes. It was actually really good fun, but it is strange because it is like a car. It's really strange. Doesn't feel in any way natural like a bike. At least with these games, you've got that sort of natural feeling to it. And you really have to apply some bike or some riding skill sets, I guess, to keeping yourself upright. Not that I have a riding skill set in any way, but you have to at least think like you're going to be riding a bike. So we've got 3 events here at the next section of the Ride Fest. We've got our 2-lap race around Daytona. That might be a good one to do. Superpole on the Alpine Enduro Park, which we've already done something similar. And then we've got another sort of fictional unknown circuit, Mount Gunma, 2 laps around there. So on a naked bike. We'll do that one. We've not ridden one of the naked bikes yet. So we'll do this single race. Yeah, Tom, yeah, you're a big fan of the bikes on Drive Club. Drive Club is one of those games I wish I spent more time on. Because I know it's got this kind of like cult-like following. And I owned the game, I just didn't really put much time into it. We're starting from 5th. We're going to check the objectives, finish in at least 5th, and then the bonus is finish in at least 3rd. Let's give it a go. 7:30 in the evening as well, so we should get a sort of a kind of sunset feeling to this. Not quite, but the sun going down a little bit. There's another one of those tracks where I'm going to have to work this out on the fly a little bit here. And not fall off. That was nice. No! Got away with it. Oh no, that's a big crash behind me. Yellow flags were out. I think the riders did come off. Oh, I've come off. Anyway. Through the little village. Fans out in their drones, that's great. Oh my goodness. 2 falls in this one. Alright, I need to sort myself out. It is easier when you're at a new venue to be able to follow someone as well, so that second fall's probably put us in a bad spot, because now we're quite far back from the big pack that we were going to try and stick with. I'll try and close in though. It's just so easy to get ahead of yourself and have too much confidence in the tyre. And if you start riding forgetting that you've got a kind of limit to how hard you can push, yeah. Tell you what, I'm going to restart this one. 3 big mistakes. Let's do it again. Let's try that again. You need to be a bit more cautious. It's a very fiddly circuit, but I've just... Dennis Lynn's in and says don't fall. Perfect timing. You joined me on falling 3 times on 1 lap. Right. We're going to take it a little bit more sensibly this time. And again, I'm trying to get used to a new bike here, so it's maybe just putting a bit too much trust in my new bike. To be a bit cautious on the brake and the throttle, and obviously the perimeter of this circuit is very close and very deadly. Right, on the power, come on. A little bit of a lift, get the direction change. That's fine. Oh no. Watch the leaves. We're fine. Bit of a nudge, thank you. Delay the throttle and then get on it now. Nope, too early. Oh! See the rear wheel step out there? That could have been a high side. No, no, no. Armco. I need to be a little bit more... I need to be smoother on the throttle as well. And a little bit less gung-ho when I do use it. I can be a little bit more reserved with it. Just watch out for that rear. Oh! You heard the tyre squeal? Off camber. That's going to be an easy place to fall. Alright, come on. Try and catch these lead 2. 2 laps to this race. Must be nearing the end of the first lap now. There it is. Okay. We're in a good position. 1 second off the lead. I now have done a full lap. I'm getting a little bit more confidence in the bike. But that's where it usually goes wrong. When you have a bit too much confidence. Yeah, it was much better under braking, but again, it could have resulted in an incident. No, no, forgot about the left-hander. No! Oh! Okay, I'm very, very lucky to get away with that. Fully lifted out of it. I thought it was a different corner. Lead 2 in the fence. That brings me back into it, so we've all made a bit of a mistake. Oh no, that's not the corner. There it is. Nope. Trying to find a space to sneak through. Bit of power. There we go. It's scrappy. Ooh. I'm very on-off. This is the thing. Around the outside. Yep. Nice. Okay. Nope. No! No! Last corner. It was the last corner. I wasn't going to rewind for the last corner. Ah. Did we get... of course, we didn't get fastest lap either because we fell. Oh, no. The main objective was 5th. I'm sorry, guys. I should have used rewind. I didn't realize the objective was that strong. In my head, it was like 8th. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm doing a little bit of shifting some weight, but not as much as I could be, for sure. Generally speaking, I used to go wrong on a lot of bike games, like TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge 2, which is another bike game I put a lot of time into and really loved. And we did some videos on the Traction channel of the TT game, Ride on the Edge 2 specifically, and we obviously reviewed 3 as well. But I learned a lot about where I was going wrong with leaning, because I would tend to sort of lean back in the braking zones and all sorts of stuff to try and act as a bit more of a parachute, and it's like terrible thing to do if you're actually leaning into the corner, is also leaning back at any point. Like, there are certain things I was doing that was just so wrong. So I learned a lot through that game, and I've learned to actually be a little bit less lean happy. I don't think it always, you know, like, unless you know what you're doing with leaning forwards and backwards, you got to be yeah, you got to be a little bit tentative. And I think if you do it too often, you start thinking you're doing great, and actually you're just compromising yourself everywhere. Oh, I should have rewound. Anyway, we can do other events. It's all good. We'll still get our points here. We've got the 2-lap race at Daytona. That was a really nice track, actually. Mark's asking for a high side. I don't know, Mark. I don't know if I'm talented. I don't know if I'm talented enough to do it deliberately. You might just have to wait until you see me do it by accident. They do actually race bikes at Daytona. Yes, they do, which is wild. It always looks wild to me, but they do it. And when they're on the banking and they have a bit of a wobble, it's terrifying. Our second bagger race, the first bagger race was right back at the first race we did here, the opening race of career mode, and I did enjoy it. The bagger felt nice, so I'm just gonna mute myself for a second once again, so bear with. I'm still alive. Just. Right. Starting from 5th, what's our objectives here? Finish in 5th and reach a speed of 250. That should be okay. We're at Daytona at the end of the day, so speed should not be an issue. It's a 2-lap race, 3 o'clock, scattered clouds. Yeah, the Daytona 200. That's probably the event I've seen, and the clips I've seen. Alright. You had to lean back under heavy braking. Yeah, I think under heavy braking, that's fair. Maybe I should be doing that more at the start of the braking zones. It was more I was doing it too much kind of into the corners previously on other games. So we can definitely try using a bit more lean on the way in. Lean forward on some of the straights, but again, you don't want to lean forward when you're up to speed. You kind of want to lean forward just to try and keep that nose down. Let's into the hairpin. Oh, there's cones. Oh, wow. No! We're fine. Just. Interesting use of the cones there. Wow, this bagger has actually a lot of straight line speed. No. Careful through dog leg. Been getting away with murder here. Don't touch the grass. Too early. Oh, rear stepping out. Is it just me? Maybe the cones just make it feel narrower, but I actually felt like going into that first hairpin, the cones were actually changing the whole circuit. I just need to look again next time. All right, come on. What is that sound? Is it scraping? Something scraping on the ground? Yeah, I think it's scraping. I'm really not sure. Oh. Oh! No. I had to hit the brakes there. Almost got wiped out by the AI, but I really got that all wrong in terms of the weight transfer on the straight. Just too busy listening to the sound. Nope. Running close to the walls like Kyle Larson. Don't want to be doing that on a bike. Goodbye. Alright, straight line speed, not a problem. 275 kilometers an hour. Sense of speed's pretty good. That is not good. Get off the wall. It's not like a car where you just don't have to think about that. And there you go. Braking too early for turn 1 to be safe. But we'll try coming back underneath. Sorry! Alright, we're going to rewind. I'm not making that same mistake again. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. That's how it should have been done. Right. Is it just the pit lane exit that's got the cones? It's to make a safer pit lane re-entry. Okay, I'm actually going to just take the long lap penalty. That's definitely what I was trying to do there deliberately. Running out by the cones there on the pit lane. Anyway, continue. So yeah, it's just to keep the separation for longer from the pit lane exit, I presume. Stop you using too much of the circuit. bit of backwards lean on the brakes to start with, so that's maybe going to help us out a little bit. Careful on the power. Again, a little bit too much too early. Nope. Watch the brake. Got to be a little bit patient with the bagger on the power, just because I don't know if it's to do with the weight, but if you get on the power too early, you do just, that rear does want to come down. Alright, let's keep out of the wall this time. Don't know where I'm braking, I'm just going to copy P1. No, I've not kept out the wall at all. I was aggressive there, I had to be. Okay, come on. Much more prepared for the bagged corner this time. We're going to go around the outside. I'm going to need to cut to the inside at some point. A little bit of a lift needed. No! I'm so sorry. Right, there we go. P1. Very different to a four-wheel race that I'm used to around Daytona, I've got to be honest. But we got away with it, even with a long lap penalty. From Larson to Chastain. Oh dear. Not great either way. Fastest lap as well by a 10th. Hey Mark, how's it going? Welcome along to the stream. Yeah, you're right. Literally tourist trophy. Yes. But in terms of the, you know, buying a new bike in a different category and then entering an eligible championship with it, that's why it feels like Gran Turismo. And then the kind of Ride Fest thing, obviously the idea of a festival and the main menu and how it all looks is very much like Forza Horizon. So it's a weird, it's like trying to take bits of Forza Horizon and bits of Gran Turismo, which I really appreciate. But it is neither of those games. It's very, very different. I think it's more like Gran Turismo in natural sort of gameplay, whereas it's more like Horizon in the kind of style it's going for. And the fictional circuits are all quite dramatic, but it's obviously not open world and stuff like that. So it's a complete mixture. It's a complete mixture. Maybe Forza Motorsport as well. But really, the crux of it is, the Ride Fest thing actually is only, it's a UI. It doesn't really change the actual game too much at all. You know, once you actually get into the events, the bit outside of that with the Ride Fest doesn't really change anything. There's no narrative going on. There's no one speaking to you. There's no sort of sense of you're part of something. It's more just like you're on your own path, try and get through the career. And maybe it'll change with the legends and the more events that you get to. But I already feel as if I know how this career is going to go. Like, I can't see anything crazy happening. And I might be totally wrong. We get our prize. I'm not going to go back and do the race that I should have won earlier, because we've already done it. But I will claim the reward bike. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we've got the KTM RC390. We've already got 2 bikes that are eligible for that class, so I'm not too fussed about it. The Dragster 300, which is a racing modified scooter. And then we've got the Honda CRF 450R motard. I think I'm going to go for that because we don't have... Maybe we have a KTM, actually, that's in the same category, but we're going to go for the Honda. Okay. I also... Do you know what I'm going to try? I want to try... Oh, sorry, Dennis. Sorry. We can buy the scooter. We can buy it. I actually want to see what's happening. If I go out of career for a minute, I'm going to head to multiplayer. So you've got a lobby list, public lobby creation, or private lobby creation. I just want to see what's going on. So there's not many lobbies at the moment, of course, with this game being essentially in 3 days of early access for those who have the Ultimate Edition. Are all of these events already on? Yeah, they're already on. But this one's on lap 3, Laguna Seca single race on sport bikes. So let's join that and hopefully it repeats it. There's 3 players in it. Hopefully it just kind of refreshes and does another race straight after. And we'll see how online is. Looks like P1 is waiting for P2. Yep. P3 not far behind either. .137s on the first 2 laps. I like that you can hear the different bikes all have their own, you know, distinct personality in terms of the engine note as well, which is great. So you've got very clear differences between the Honda, the Aprilia, and also, I haven't even been able to see what bike this is yet. So the session ends in 40 seconds. I'm just hoping that this will basically recycle into another race. I might be wrong though. It's giving us only the option to exit the lobby. Yeah, the dirt bike with slicks does look odd, but you can race them around the circuits and they're actually alright. I think I'm going to have to leave this. I don't want to exit just in case it recycles. So let's see what happens if it kicks me or if it loads in a new race. Hey, there we go. Okay, 5 of us for another race. I think we are going to jump into a race. Tire wear on. Can I select a different bike? I don't know if I can. Or I don't know if I've got time to it won't let me actually go to the sport category, so maybe that's the next section. Either way, we'll see what happens. So we can vote for a track. Algarve, Road Atlanta, Magny-Cours. We've got lots of votes for Magny-Cours. Good. I kind of know Magny-Cours. Like, it's been a while since I've raced around there, but I think I know it well enough. So, yeah, 3 votes for Magny-Cours. It's clearly going to be Magny-Cours. Let's go for that. Yeah, Mark, I think so, but it's... I guess that must have been thought of before, right? I just don't know what they can do. Can we... What's our best bet here? It's probably the... Is it the Ninja that we got earlier? It probably is the Ninja. There's a few bikes here that are very quick. We've got some 821s in there, so we're maybe not going to be the most competitive with our 672 stock Ninja, but let's see what happens. Yeah, I think it would be really cool. I would love to see more kind of accessible bike sims at home. I can't picture the technology how to make it work. Because if it's just handlebars, it's yeah. Where do you get the weight transfer and the feedback? Bike riding is way more physical than racing in the way that your inputs are not just. It's about your body and it's about your full movement rather than just, you know, steering a wheel. Or applying pressure to one particular axis. It's way more fluid, and I can imagine that must be so difficult to try and simulate in a way that's actually kind of, you know, easy to produce for lots of people at home, right? But it's very, very cool. Like, when you see these really expensive proper bike sims that take up loads of space that you sit on, they're wicked. Okay. We're into the lead. I shouldn't have looked behind me. That was a bad idea. First lap of Magny-Cours as well. Oh, faller already. Alright, come on, Ninja. You may not be the fastest bike in this race, but you are the most green. Okay, we've ghosted. Thank goodness. Goodbye. Goodbye. Where do I brake for the hairpin? I don't know. Here? Yeah. Almost. Almost perfect. Anyway, leading was fun while it lasted. Can we get a podium? I'm trying to remember where I'm going at this circuit. Too deep. Clear in P2, I think. Not a million miles away behind P1, but I just don't think we're going to have the pace. Oh, he's fallen! I take it back! No, don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Ooh. Right, we've got a 1.3 second lead. Oh no. I'm absolutely crumbling now that I'm in the lead. Through the last chicane. Not bad. One lap down. No, too wide, John. Too wide. What are you doing? Right, watch the bike behind come flying by us now. The gap coming down. No, we're good. Ah! Braked a bit too early for the hairpin. Lost a good second there just by braking too early because I don't have any reference points yet. Let's not fall. No! Toad-in Turbo gets back in front. They do have a mistake in them, but so do I. Like that. No, no, no. Toadin's made a mistake and I've made the same mistake. Nightmare. We might lose a podium at this rate. Oh, it was looking good. And that's exactly the same grass as I was on last time. Alright, come on. One lap still to go. I can still do this. Don't know how that's not track limits. Now, I would say they could have an instant up in front, but I'm pretty sure they will ghost. Based on that first contact I had, it was ghosting. Should have gone wider there, but we can still get a good exit. Nope. Straight through the gravel for P2. Where do I brake? There? Too late. But not terrible. Much better third lap. All of us beginning to work it all out. Oh, did the leader just fall? Hang on, hang on. Let's not make the same mistake again. Yes. Could the impossible happen? 3/10. They're closing. We've made the apex. I can't believe it. No! 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 It was so close. The dream was alive. Oh well. You know what? That was good fun. I'll definitely take that. First online race, a little bit of a laugh. There was only 4 or 5 of us in there. Was I the only one that didn't fall off? Maybe. There's a wee idea, anyway, of what online looks like. That's fixed my illness. I'm no longer ill. Excellent. Manicure. So this used to be the, for anyone who doesn't know the track, that was the old French Grand Prix venue back in the day. Very much worth watching the full race of the 1999 French Grand Prix. It is amazing. That's car Grand Prix, not Formula 1, not motorcycle Grand Prix. Yeah, would thoroughly recommend that. Let's have a little introduction then into some of the other areas before we finish up here. So, what have we got here? The Supermoto Arena. Yeah, very much up for this. So this is the bike we've just bought, the Motard, first Motard event. I think our bike is eligible for this. Anyway, we've got our little cutscene bit. There you go. No, the quali with 3 cars with the same time was that's 1997 European Grand Prix at Jerez. I don't think the 1999 French Grand Prix was. But it did have a very interesting pole sitter, if memory serves correct. A very surprising pole sitter. Or at least someone near the front of the grid. But it's just an amazing race. Like, such a good race for strategy and for drama and for unpredictability. 99 was the best year. So many races like that. Along with maybe 2012. There is our Honda. Yes, we did already have the KTM, which is what I thought. But we've just won the Honda as an award. So let's jump in the Honda. Can we do anything to it? A little bit of tuning. We certainly can. Just got to watch we don't go over the limit here. That's not really doing anything for us. The carburetor. Just making a small difference to acceleration. All of these things are kind of doing the same thing. So, I mean, to be honest, I think we're probably fine as we are. 420 at the moment. Stock. What's the limit of the race? I'm backing out to remind myself. 414 to 464, so we're just within the kind of lower limit. Let's just try and see what we can do with it. New sub, hi, welcome Sultan. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for subscribing. I still need to work out my favourite bike and all this. I need to get fully into this. We've got our first Motard race at Blue Wave Arena now. Yes, JVDRX, you are spot on. You are spot on. I don't want to give any more spoilers for anyone who's not watched that French Grand Prix, because it's like, so let's try and hold off on race spoilers for the 1999 French Grand Prix. But I can tell you, yes, Barrichello and Stewart, I'm pretty sure he was on pole position, was he not, for that race? Which is just, I love seeing that Stewart Ford. It was just such a cool car. All right, let's try this then. 5th on the grid, objectives, finish 5th, and then complete the event with no penalties, which should be okay for that. 4 laps, so quite a short track, most likely. Let's give this Motard a go. Small track racing, as you can see. I guess this is as close as you're going to get to like mini moto. For the person who was asking about mini motos earlier, this is. That was a bit rude. So Skylar Howe's out in front, and then Thomas Charrier, who is of course the legend that this area is kind of celebrating. That's terrible. I've got a penalty. Oh no! So I've literally failed my objective. Hang on, let's restart. I'm way out of kilter there. I'm pushing too hard. Let's do it without a penalty. It will have Murray Walker commentary, yes. It will. Yeah, that's a good point. Red Bull is, of course, Stewart. Stewart was Jaguar, which then became Red Bull. And then they're finally back with Ford engines. Lovely full circle moment. No, too late. Too late in the brakes. Just about held it up, though. There's a very different riding style required for these short track races. Nope. That could have been a fall very easily. Face planted into the barrier. 4 laps to deal with here. I don't think I've got the pace of the lead 2. Maybe I can match them, but I need to improve my riding considerably. But to be fair, it is a big learning experience, so maybe I will. Come on. Oh, I'm all over the place with the rear end under braking. Bit too heavy on the brake, maybe. I was about to say a pedal. You've got to alter all your terms. Squeeze. Pass Sherrier. Oh, how is that not a penalty? I don't know. Oh, sorry. Sorry for being rubbish. Halfway through the race, top 2 on the cards. Ooh. Nice, got it stopped. Okay, I can win this race. I do feel like I've got the pace to do it. Just got to get past Skyler and his mustache. Deep on the brakes, around the outside. Can we do it there? Not quite. Does give us the inside line though. Oh, he's going to come back underneath, surely. Nope. Okay, P1. Try not to fall now. There is that last corner which I'm rubbish at. Oh dear. So I need to have a better line through here. I'm too early on the brakes and I'm turning in too early, I think, as well. Oh, that was way better. Okay. Much better line. Gonna be a faster lap as well, surely. Oh, oh no! I was looking at the lap time rather than where I was going. Oh! I was literally staring at the lap time to see what time I would do instead of braking for the first corner. Might try another online race after this as well with a bigger grid, because I did enjoy that little race even though there was only a few of us. After we hang on here, can we get the victory? 1 sector to go. Very on and off with the throttle. Oh, that's better. No, no, no. Not better. But we hang on. Alright, P1. I can already see how this career mode's going to go, though. I think if you've been with me from the start, first of all, massive thank you and appreciate the support and hope you've enjoyed this. But we can kind of see where this is going, right? There's not really anything too crazy happening. We're unlocking bikes. Obviously, the further you get, you will come across some amazing bikes. There will be rain, I'm sure. There will be longer races, dark races, and obviously way more venues, road racing and stuff like that as well. So there's plenty to see and do, but I think in terms of how the game is progressing itself, it feels very much like you can already see what's going to happen. New events unlocked, of course. The next two, the Battle Royale and the Motard match. Another one around Mount Gunma. Before we then get further on to the Supermoto Legend, which are locked at the moment, so we can't see what the details are. Drifting Duel, that sounds cool. Blue Wave Trophy and the Red Hot Handlebar. Let's try another online race. I did enjoy it. Try and get one with more people in it, bigger lobby. I don't know the track yet is the only issue. Maybe I'll regret this. But we have done a few laps of Blue Wave Arena now, depending on which track. Was it the one we've just done? We've got some high level players in this. And some low level. Yeah. Milestone are just the king of decent two-wheel games. Like the Milestone has created so many decent two-wheel games. I'm not saying that Milestone games are generally the best games in the world. Oh, we're spectating. We're not in the race. That's a shame. It's the track we've just done as well. Didn't make it in time. I'm not saying they like make the greatest game ever individually, but because they're obviously making so many games, they just churn out decent game after decent game, and across multiple disciplines as well, which is really cool. So I have a lot of admiration for Milestone, because it's not just bike games, of course. Nordschleife 3 laps, that's pretty intense. Is there any race? This is in qualifying right now, so we can get in here for a Nordschleife race. I'm not sure I'll do the 3 laps, but we'll see how long we go with 1 lap. I don't think we made it to this one either. It's 15 seconds to go. We didn't pick a bike. Let's see. Oh, Toad and Turbo's in this one. So this was the lobby I was in earlier, potentially. Yeah, we're not in this race either. Just want to get into a race. It needs to be one that's maybe on the last lap. Not super clear from the menu where you are in with these races, to be quite honest. Like, how easy it is to join one. So we've got the Blue Wave Arena single race. That's quite a busy one, so maybe we'll go for that one. And just watch this is the race we were just in, so we'll just maybe watch the last lap or so, and then we'll get a race. Sam, I don't know the track lists well enough to be able to go through all of the tracks or talk about which ones are missing. Hopefully there's a track list out there somewhere. But there are 39 venues to start off with, so I can show you them next time we're on the menu. Just watching how it's done here on board with P1. This this rider looks very skilled. Wow. This is a masterclass. Look at this. Every single apex on the money. Weight transfer, no big moments. Can I practice my esports commentary skills while spectating this race? Absolutely not. One, because I think my voice would actually die if I started commentating, and two, I have no clue what's going on when it comes to motorcycle racing. I love watching it, don't get me wrong, I love watching it, but no is the answer. Is this a CBR 600? See, this is the thing, I don't actually know. Can I see another view? Oh, sponsored by Pornhub. Interesting. Oh, good timing to switch. Harry Inglis in P2. This is more like, this is me. Like, that first person we were watching has it all sussed. This is me. Nice livery on that Honda. Oh. Oh no. They're on the final lap, guys, so we're going to get into this next race, hopefully. And it's a busy lobby as well, so I'm not expecting a second podium, let's put it that way. This is a great little technical circuit for learning. I mean, this looks sketchy as anything. This is crazy to watch. Rider falling off behind. P1 was incredible though. 101.6 compared to 103, 103, 106, 106, 7, 4, 11, 14. So yeah, miles out in front. They're mainly Honda CBRs, so you're absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Right, 20 seconds and we should be able to get ourselves signed up. S811 and S781 in terms of a speed range for the bikes. Not the only Scot. Quite a few Scottish folk on this already, so clearly ride proving popular in Scotland, because this is not the first time I've seen this. Okay, we're in. So, I don't even know if have I got a bike? It's just saying Racing Sport 600cc. It might just put me in or on a bike. I don't know if I pick after. I can't remember from the last time. I think I picked after, didn't I? You ready up and then you pick after. So it gives you the bike choice and you vote for a track. Oh, they got rid of Alton and Snetterton. Oh, nice one, Sam. Well done for finding it. Yeah, as I say, I just don't know the track lists well enough at all to be able to say Donington. Getting my vote straight away. 3 votes for Donington. Yes, it's Donington National. That's a good one. We know Donington. I think we can have a proper racer in Donington. That should be good fun. So we've still got some British circuits on there. We've got Cadwell. Was that on Ride 5? I can't remember if Cadwell was in Ride 5. 4 laps around Donington. Honda CBR. Yeah, we're renting. Because we don't own a bike, we're renting the CBR. That's fine. As you can see, we're the only one on the stock CBR with 766. So we've got, I mean, it's an excuse, yes. And it's not that relevant, but we do have the slowest bike in the field. So I'm just going to put that out there immediately. The selected bike has no lights. Oh, no. That's fine, it's 10 AM. There is literally only one Scottish track in real life, if you're talking about full kind of circuits, and that is Knockhill. Every other Scottish circuit is either like a sprint venue, like Kames, or Ingliston, which is an old circuit, which is no longer in use as a circuit, but has acted as a track day venue and a sprint venue in recent years, or a hill climb venue. There are lots of... In Scotland, it's mainly hill climbs and sprints. So I've competed... all of the kind of hill climb and sprint venues in Scotland I've been to multiple times and competed at most of them as well. It's like go-kart tracks and Doon Hill Climb, Forestburn Hill Climb, Fintry Hill Climb, all of this stuff. And then there's Cowdenbeath. There's the Cowdenbeath Wall as well, which is like an oval. But Knockhill is the only proper purpose-built full-size circuit in Scotland. And it's a good one. It's a great one. Knockhill has been in many games, yes. Let me just focus here for the first lap. But yeah, Knockhill is in plenty of games. It's a British touring car circuit. It's also good for like, you know, low-powered sports cars and stuff. It used to be British GT. It's always British touring car venue. British F4, all these kind of things. Just never really super quick cars because it's too small a circuit. It's too tight and twisty. I've raced there a few times, including in Sangyong trucks. No, John. No. All good. We'll get back on. I was just avoiding a fall there, but I might have actually been quicker if I'd have just fallen. Everyone's falling around me, though. Oh, there we are. There it is. We're not going to get a podium, I'm afraid. I would just like to have a bit of a race with some people and try and set a decent lap time. Oh, and there's another faller. Yeah, I've got to just survive. I've raced Knockhill in reverse as well, which is interesting, but it's a really, really good circuit. Oh no! I'm useless. Yeah, Scotland's got plenty of good rally venues, or what's it, rally venues? Good forests for rallying. Scottish Rally Championship is good. There's the Granite in Aberdeenshire. Obviously, you've got the Jim Clark Rally. You've got the Snowman Rally, which is my local up in the Highlands. Plenty of good forests, let's say. Right, let's try and get a clean lap in. It is our first lap on this game around Donington, and first time on this bike as well, so my inexperience is really showing, and my lack of skill. treating it with a bit more respect in this lap, and it's definitely paying dividends. So for us, like, even though like Knockill's my local, it's the only real one in Scotland. For circuit racing and stuff like that, when I'm racing around the UK, Donington is actually one of the closest circuits to anywhere in Scotland, really, in Derbyshire. Oh no! Ah, it was going so well. That was a decent lap. So this is actually, for Scottish folk, Donington is actually one of the local circuits. Alright, 115.2 with a crash, so that's what we've got to work on. Almost went a bit too hot. Not a good first corner. Nope. Off the brake through Old Hairpin. That was actually okay. You can see how close I was to falling. Nice and smooth. Watch not to go on the brakes too hard. Right, need to get through the chicane in one piece this time. I'm basically treating this as a lap time challenge now, just to see how far away we are from the quicker riders. It's going to be a 1:11 maybe? 1:10.8. Oh, almost lost the rear into Redgate, but we got away with it. Too early on the power though. No. Oh dear. That's a penalty. Either way. We're up to P7, so someone else has gone off or disconnected or something. Ooh, big wobble into McLean's. Really, really enjoyable though. I'm enjoying getting to grips with these bikes on these circuits as well. Like, it is a very rewarding handling model, I think. Oh, we didn't even make it to the end of the race, so that's kind of depressing. 1:06 was the fastest, so there's your pace. Obviously, we had a slightly slower bike with a 766 rating, but 1:10.8 should have been a 1:08. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of our speed and skill. We've still got a long, long way to go, but we didn't even get the opportunity to finish the race, which is a bit of a shame. Right, we'll have one final look at our career mode options, see if there's anything we haven't seen yet, and then we'll leave it there for now. But yeah, hopefully it's giving you a bit of an idea of what to expect from the start of Ride 6. Whether you're kind of new to it all, or whether you're a bit more experienced, you'll be able to see at least how the new Ride Fest career mode is structured, because that is something that's new. We've got this Tyler O'Hara Baggart Invitational. We've already done Baggart Daytona, so we don't really want to do that. Should we do one of these sport bike final races? One lap of Road Atlanta again. I don't want to do a one lap thing. We could do a 3-lap race around. Yeah, let's do this. It looks like it's going to rain. Yes, we're going to get our first wet race. So it's 3 laps around Valencia on our Sport Yamaha. We can try and win this. Got to finish in at least 8th position. So let's do this for our final little race here. In fact, no, that's our KTM. Oh, is it racing? Is it for racing modified bikes specifically? Why are we only getting the KTM? That's interesting. So it must be... Ah, okay, hang on. So it's different bikes for this. So we've obviously... The KTM wasn't eligible for these previous runs, which were sport bikes up to 500cc. This is different because this is race-modified sport bikes up to 500. So it's still a good thing we bought that KTM way back at the start of the stream when I accidentally bought the wrong bike. It came in handy because now we own it. So we're going to do it. Oh, I've just seen the question about the music event. It was great, thank you. It was really, really good fun. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Good to see my old music tutors and instructors and catch up with a lot of old friends as well. So it was absolutely lovely. Saw my family, saw plenty of old folks that I've known from decade ago, which is great. So it was good fun. really, really good. I've obviously picked up whatever bug I've got today. I've picked up from my family or some of my friends when I was up there, because there was a few people under the weather, let's say. So that's the cost of it all. And yeah, you're right, New York Vice, spot on. I was playing the cajon, which is a little box you sit on, and it's got bass and snare and all sorts of stuff, but it's just the most portable drum you can imagine, because it's a seat and it's also a versatile drum, somewhat versatile. So it's great. Scrooge, fair enough. It is expensive. Like I think it's a really decent, solid overall gaming experience. It's a very clean game. There's so much variation there. I'm really enjoying the gameplay of it. I have to say, I'm enjoying the handling. I'm enjoying the difficulty. There's a big learning curve, but it's manageable. It's just not doing anything that's pushing the boat out too much in terms of excitement when it comes to a single-player campaign. It's just like you're dotting about, doing all these different events, progressing through it, which is satisfying and fun, but there's nothing crazy in terms of immersion or anything that's kind of going to throw out a huge surprise or feel particularly special. So, yeah, it's just up to you whether you want to spend £60 on the game, really. Alright, our first wet race, starting from 8th place. Objective is to finish in 8th and reach a speed of 177 kilometers. So we'll ignore the speed, that'll just happen. We just need to finish 8th or better. Let's try and go out in a high, though. Let's try and win this. I keep forgetting to change my suit. We've still got that Rossi livery we downloaded, the custom suit. Yeah, no worries at all. No worries. Excuse me. Of course, with these racing modified bikes, you cannot tune them. You cannot modify them. You can still change the setup and stuff, I'm pretty sure, but you can't actually, you know, improve the parts, for instance. Found a little gap there. Sorry for the nudge. Good start. Got good grunt in this bike. Around the outside of Dakota. There we are. 3 laps of this, so we're already up to P1. Okay, it's this version of Valencia, which is the version I remember from Race 07. Oh, over the grass. My first experience of... Oh, that's a penalty as well. There we are. Back to reality. So I need to get into the lead by 2/10 now. Yeah, my first experience of this circuit was actually on Race 07 way back in the day, and this was the version that I first got to know. It's been a while since we've done that. Yeah, picking up Ride 5, honestly, it makes a lot of sense if you haven't played it already, because it's a similar sort of experience. So if you're new to either of them, you know, picking up 5 at a very cheap price right now makes a lot of sense. And then if you really like it, you can jump on 6, no bother. I think that's a great idea, to be perfectly honest. But we have reviewed Ride 6 positively. The traction score was 7 out of 10. And if you're subscribed to the Traction Control Podcast YouTube channel, you'll hear us discussing something related to these sorts of games in the podcast that releases tomorrow morning. So if you're not subscribed to the Traction Control Podcast channel, go and check it out. We've just started doing weekly podcasts discussing kind of topical news and just general sim racing and racing game stuff between myself and the two Toms. And one of the things we talked about in the episode coming tomorrow, which we've already recorded, was how, at least me and Tom Harrison Lord, at least, believe that there should be more racing games that are just decent, like solid, decent racing games. Not, you know, instead of a few, you know, the odd game that's amazing is obviously what we really want, and that's great. But a lot of games reach for the stars and do crazy things, and then, you know, they end up not working, or, you know, they're too complicated, or whatever it might be. They take too long to make. They're full of bugs, full of glitches. They just never quite realize the vision. Whereas some games are just solid 7 out of 10, fun experiences, nothing too crazy, as long as they're not too expensive. And that is where the question mark comes in. But as long as a game is, you know, fun to play, nothing too crazy, but enjoyable, I think there's so much space for those sorts of games. I want something different, I want something interesting that I'm going to have fun with for a couple of weeks. I don't want to spend a crazy amount of money. We need more of those. Maybe, like, this game being a 7 out of 10 is really good, but obviously it is a very expensive game. Games in general are way more expensive these days than they used to be. But for a bike enthusiast specifically, this is obviously a, I would say, you know, I guess you could say a must-buy. Because you just don't have as many options, right? It's more, in terms of motorcycle games, you've obviously got the Isle of Man TT right on the edge, specific stuff for your road racing. You've got the MotoGP official games, and you've got, you know, the race series games. But it's, in terms of kind of road bikes and stuff, there's not been a huge amount to choose from, really. Oh, that was very sketchy, because I was leaning forward for some reason by mistake. We built up a 5-second lead, so we're good. There we go. It's gonna be a victory. Comfortable victory. Yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing. There's a lot of games that are, yeah. If you try and obviously we all want hugely ambitious titles. We want titles to push the boat out, to try new things. To, you know, we have these dream games where, imagine if we had a game that had the physics of A, but the career mode of B, or the structure of C, or the, you know, the VR support of D. But the reality is that clearly it's not easy to make a game that is just perfect in all different areas, right? So sometimes, yes, it's tricky. I'm not saying we should never strive for that, and I hope that there are more games in the future that just tick all of these boxes and are incredible experiences, because they do come around every so often, and it just blows you away. But some more just solid, clean games like this, I'm not going to complain at all, because this is going to be an enjoyable playthrough for anyone who's willing to spend the money on it, even if it's not doing anything crazy. That's my opinion anyway. 128 is our fastest lap, with the wheelie at the end there. We get our main objective, we get our bonus objective. Another victory, first win on the KTM that we bought by accident earlier, all good. And as you can see, if we build up affinity with a particular brand, we get discounts as well on their buying their bikes in future, so that's all fine. But I guess it's just quite straightforward, quite simple. So there, it's just a little taste of what Ride 6 feels like to start with, what the career mode looks like. We've obviously done some online racing there, and you can see it works quite well. It's fairly plug and play, it's simple and straightforward, but I had a lot of fun doing the races, and you can obviously learn a lot from watching other people as well. It's not going to be, you know, super high-end esports at this point, but maybe there will be lobbies that are created and leagues that are starting, all sorts of stuff where that sort of thing can take place. And hey, if you're into your bikes, I can see why you would want to buy this game. Oh, that's really interesting. The defense of 7 out of 10 games. Yeah, that's. I've not seen this video, but that sounds exactly like what we were talking about on our podcast, which comes out tomorrow. So, interesting. Sounds like we're not the only people that think this. Oh, actually, I've jumped off the... I'm going to go back on before I wrap up here, because look, we've got our reward. We've got a bike to obtain. Ooh, very nice. Good options here. An old Suzuki. RG500, that is magnificent. Yamaha YZF R6 from 2002. It looks newer than 2002, actually. That's a 2. Oh, and we've got the Honda CBR 600RR as well. The racing modified Honda. It's going to have to be the Suzuki. I'm sorry. Straight away. It can't not be. Awesome. Anyway, back to wrapping up. Thank you so much for joining me on this. You may have noticed I've been wearing a TraxionGG shirt here that you might not have seen before. Keep an eye on that, because we are at some point in the near future potentially going to be launching some of these shirts for you to be able to buy if you like the look of them. So I'm just trying one out at the moment, and it's very, very comfortable. Very happy with it. I think it looks really nice. So just thought I would very softly mention that at the end of the stream for anyone who's interested, that you should keep an eye on the Traxion website for any announcements regarding merchandise or things like that, because we may have some fun stuff available to purchase. So there you go. But thank you so much for all of your support and your comments. I know this has been a bit different to usual. I also know I've been a bit different to usual because I'm not feeling great, and I do apologise if that has made me sound a little bit more tired and rubbish than usual, and I've fallen off my bike a lot. But the falling off a bike was very inevitable, given that I don't play that many bike games. So I think it was good, though. I think it was all good. Big thanks for tuning in. Another comment as well I should make is that this week we will have at least one more stream, maybe even two, because there are a couple of things I want to do. So if you're interested in the next Assetto Corsa update, then you want to subscribe to the channel. Keep an eye out for a live stream later this week. And also, there may be a third special stream later in the week, depending on a few different things. So it's going to be a very busy week. I'll also see how I'm feeling. I'm hoping it doesn't get worse, and then we'll be fine. But if it gets way worse, you might not see much of me at all. So fingers crossed. But yeah, very much appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. And enjoy Ride 6 when it launches on Thursday. See you soon.